Hello gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behavior, where today we are going to be looking at the rocks of the eternal shore crash against me and be broken, otherwise known as Apocalypse, en Saberneur, the select version. And man, I got some thoughts. Not all of them good, but a few of them are. You want to hear them? Well, let's talk about them. So I've been waiting for this for a long time. In fact, I had high hopes and expectations because when Select previewed this and announced it, I rolled the dice. I sold my Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Apocalypse because I thought, you know what? Size matters, and bigger is sometimes better. I want the larger, taller, more imposing Apocalypse. And I got that. But did I get my wish, or was this a monkey's paw kind of thing? Because this is what I would say is some of the best and the worst of Select. And that's a sticky, nutty, chewy combination. So at a glance, this is good. Alright? He's tall, he's imposing, he looks like classic X-Factor Apocalypse. Proper 1980s first appearance, gonna turn Angel into Archangel, being pursued by Cable, proper OG Apocalypse. I like that. That's cool. Before they threw too many bells and whistles on him. And certainly before they put him in a cheap three-piece suit. That's for sure. So I do like the aesthetic. But then that's always going to be the compromise with Select. What they have in size and look, they then lack in articulation. And also just general wear and tear ability. Durability. That's the word that I was looking for. Because this feels brittle, as a lot of Select figures do. You know how on the other end of the spectrum, you got Marvel Legends that can sometimes feel a little bit too gummy, like they're just like bendy, almost like Agent Gumby. You're worried about like warping the joints out of shape. This one, I wouldn't worry about warping the joints. I would just worry about them straight up snapping. I had to give this guy a long, hot, luxurious soak in the bath, almost like a Lazarus pit. So I think that was enough to allow me to articulate him, but I had to be real careful. These elbows, even now, these elbows are stiff. And I do feel that if you don't hold them the right way, and use a little loosey-goosey kind of... even now in this video, I'm afraid to... It was scary. It was genuinely scary to bend his elbow there. Because I was like, please don't break. Please don't break on camera. Don't break my heart. Don't go breaking my heart. And even when I was trying to do that, I then popped the fist off. Because everything is just... it's real stiff. Trying to articulate this fist peg here. And I'm like, he doesn't want to move. He is stiff and brittle. He feels like me when I wake up in the morning before I've had my own hot bath in a Lazarus pit. So that's something to be very aware of. And the same goes for the knees as well. And like with the elbows, knees and elbows, single joints. No double joints here. So again, it's that old Select thing where it feels like Select are designed more to be like just posed statues almost. I mean, he's a lot more than that. You can see from the poses I'm putting him in here. But they just don't have the articulation of a Marvel Legend, certainly. So single joints, and I'm very aware of the pins. Just like one pin in each joint. For the love of criminy, be careful with it. All right, folks, that's what I'm saying. And then, speaking of kind of stiff, the cables that go from his back to the ports in his wrists. I always loved that design aesthetic of Apocalypse. Why does he have them? What do they do? Has it ever been explained? Possibly not. Some sort of celestial technology. But I just love it. It's just interesting. But they do want to pop out. So if you pose him, you find the pose you want, you put him in there, stick him on your shelf, it'll be fine. But as soon as you start to move the arms around, they'll pop out very, very quickly. But that's not a deal breaker because, I mean, we don't play with our toys that much, do we? I mean, don't get me wrong. We have a reasonable amount of time that we spend playing with them. But then we pose them nicely and we put them on our shelves and that's where they stay. So that's not a deal breaker. So let's go through the aesthetics of the figure. Starting off with the head. Very 80s great Apocalypse head right there. Straight out of X Factor. Like I was saying, I like the skin tone. The design, the sculpt is good. Just wish we had one more though, because this is the only one. I would have liked a bit more variance. As a one-off pose, it's decent enough. I mean, he's got the look, you know, that's kind of standard Apocalypse fare, but also Apocalypse, he's kind of a jokester sometimes. He can be a bit lighthearted. Apocalypse loves a good supervillain laugh. Like, when I think about Apocalypse, I think like, and this isn't that. So I would have loved a more wide open mouth, reveling and wallowing in his own crepulence type Apocalypse look. So just having the one head, it's a bit of a shame. But the paintwork is nice. It's decent. It'll do. Then going down the rest of the body, I know it's kind of the design of the suit, but he does feel very, very hunched shoulders. It's a bit of a Dr. Evil kind of thing. You know, it's like, oh, Scott, we're going to take over the world. You're going to be one of my horsemen. So that's more of just the design of the character, though. I won't lay that at the feet of Select. Then going down, he's got the torso swivel, which you see instantly pops out the cables, of course. But there's a reasonable amount of, well, you got full 360 rotation, but not much in the way of forward and backwards pivot. He's going to be standing stoic. That's about it right there. And then going down, is there a waist swivel? I don't believe. Let's find out. Oh, hey, got a very satisfying crack there. I was either going to swivel the waist or break the figure. So there you go. I'm rather glad that it's a swivel. So it's not a nice modern egg cup type swivel. It's your Marvel Legends flat disc type swivel, but that's not too bad, because you know he doesn't have like a big cut however you swivel it. And what is actually nice, and one thing that you can't do with the Marvel Legend, is you can rotate him at the waist without the A belt getting in the way. So that's great. You can actually rotate him all the way around, and it doesn't warp his belt, because the belt is not a separate piece sitting on top. It's sculpted in above the cut. So that's actually kind of nice. I'm getting a bit more appreciation for this. Now that he's warming up a little bit, I'm warming up to him. So you see the process coming together here. The arms, they're not like butterflies or anything like that. It's basic arm articulation and not a huge range of motion, but you can just about get him up into a T pose. But then, like I said, the elbows are just one what am I trying to say? Joint. Yeah. Double jointed, single jointed. They're single jointed. That's what I was trying to come up with. But at least you got the bicep swivel as well, so that's okay. And then for the legs, of course, there's no. Hang on, let me just see. Is there thigh swivel? Hey, there is thigh swivel. I know I should play around with these figures more before doing the review, but I like the emotion that you get. My reviews are never clinical, because it's me playing with the figure for the first time and having fun with it. So actually, you know what? The articulation, if not for the single jointed limbs, the articulation isn't too bad actually. And then finally with the ankles, you can go down, you can plantarflex, dorsiflex, you can rotate the ankles too. That's not too bad. Actually, I gotta tell you, that's not too bad. If you could have a bit more head articulation, because with his collar, you really can't move the head very much, but you can actually put him in a more dynamic pose than I was originally going to give him credit for. So you know what? This Apocalypse is going up in my estimation, which is not something I say in the real world very often. This Apocalypse is going up in my estimation. Now, to be honest, this Apocalypse is proceeding pretty much how I thought it would do. But this action figure, he's exceeding my expectations. So you can actually put him in quite a dynamic. Oh yeah, I kind of like this actually. You need to really play around with the pipes to keep them in his arms. But I really like that you can actually have him kind of reaching down, grabbing a smaller character maybe. I kind of like that. Well done, Select. Over the course of the last 10 minutes, you've won me over more than I was expecting. And then, when it comes to actual, good accessories, he does have some nice hands to choose from. You got the basic fists, you got the open grabbing hands, I think. I'll double check that. And then, but what's really important though, is you've got his morphing celestial technology hands. So I've been doing the whole review with this thing on here. Don't know what it does, but it looks fun. Probably shoots some kind of laser, slices, dices, also makes julienne fries. So I will stick with this because it's the most interesting looking accessory to have on here. But of course he's got the lovely big spike ball, Sandman style, and then the drill bit as well, which again is cool. If you're a photographer and you want to have some real fun, interesting poses, mix things up a bit, you can do. So that's something that he actually has over the Marvel Legend, is that you've got more hands to choose from. More hands, more fun. And then for the paint job, it's decent. It's not like, I'm not going to write home saying, oh, mother, this paint job is amazing. However, it's got some nice metallic bits that help it pop where it needs to. And yeah, considering that he's just grey and blue, they managed to mix up a decent amount of different greys and blues. So that does actually really help. You know what? He's won me over quite a bit. Let's give him a grade while I'm still in a good mood. So for the Marvel Select Apocalypse, I'm going to give this guy 3.5 stars out of 5. He really did win me over. The more I played with him, the more I enjoyed what I can do with him, and the more articulation I discovered in him. So actually, he has some of the sins of the Select when it comes to the brittle nature and the single jointed limbs, but then with the nice looking sculpt, the fact you can actually articulate him pretty darn well, and a really fun assortment of extras that you can put on his hands, he makes a pretty damn decent Apocalypse. Is he better than the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure? Ooh, that's going to come down to your aesthetics choices. Basically, I kind of like them both the same. Maybe, to be honest, I don't know, maybe I would prefer the Marvel Legend, like, you know, gun to the head. Maybe I shouldn't have sold it. But hey, I like new things too. And this is new. Ultimately, I think if I had to have just one Apocalypse in my display, I'd probably want the old Toy Biz Build-A-Figure. Because for me, what can I say? I'm a size queen. Bigger is better. But this, for the Select, and considering but it's only $30. I mean, that's a big consideration right there. This big, hefty, chonky boy is cheaper than, you know, Tobey Maguire black costume Spider-Man. I mean, get out of here. Value for money. This guy does very well. So you know what? I like him a lot. But gang, what do you think about the Select Apocalypse, and what is your favorite Apocalypse action figure? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you got to do. You got to join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. So gang, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Big time.